At first, it seemed like just another storm in a land used to hardship. In late November 2006, a tropical disturbance formed east of the Philippines, gathering strength as it churned across the Pacific. The islands braced themselves. They had faced typhoons before. They thought they were ready. But what was coming was different. It wasn't just wind. It wasn't just rain. It was Typhoon Durian, a monster that would strike with wind, water, and earth itself, leaving scars that would take generations to heal.
On November 30, 2006, Typhoon Durian made landfall in the Baikal region of the Philippines. Winds screamed at over 195 kilometers per hour. Rain poured down in torrents, flooding rivers and fields. Trees snapped like twigs. Roofs were torn away like paper. But the true horror lay hidden in the looming shadow of Mount Mayon, the country's most active volcano. Weeks earlier, Mayon had quietly deposited thick layers of volcanic ash and mud along its slopes. Durian's unrelenting rain turned that ash into deadly lahars, rivers of mud, rock, and debris. At the height of the storm, entire walls of volcanic mud roared down the mountainsides, swallowing everything in their path. Villages were buried alive, houses, roads, people erased in seconds. It wasn't just a typhoon. It was a storm, a flood and a landslide all in one, an unstoppable avalanche of destruction.
When dawn broke, the scale of the disaster was unimaginable. Entire communities were gone, wiped from the map. Fields lay under meters of ash-laden mud. Bodies were pulled from debris-choked rivers. Families wandered through ruins, searching for missing loved ones. Officially, more than 1,400 people were killed. But many believe the true toll was even higher, with countless still missing. Tens of thousands were left homeless, stranded in makeshift shelters as disease and hunger followed the destruction. Cities like Legazpi, Daraga, and countless rural towns faced devastation not seen in decades. Electricity failed, water supplies were contaminated, relief efforts struggled to reach the isolated and the desperate. It was not just the power of the wind or the weight of the rain. It was the fury of the earth itself, unleashed in a perfect lethal storm.
After scarring the Philippines, Typhoon Durian moved westward across the South China Sea, striking Vietnam and Thailand, bringing floods, destruction, and death wherever it touched. In Vietnam alone, hundreds more perished, and vast agricultural lands were destroyed, crippling livelihoods for years. Durian's rage stretched across nations, a reminder that in the face of nature's anger, borders mean nothing.
The tragedy of Typhoon Durian revealed harsh truths. Many of the villages destroyed by the Hars had been warned, but had nowhere else to go. Poverty had tied them to dangerous land. Lack of resources had doomed them long before the storm arrived. The disaster exposed the vulnerabilities not just of nature, but of human society, inequities that force people to live in harm's way, systems unprepared for the fury of a perfect storm. During the aftermath, governments pledged better evacuation systems, stronger early warning networks, and new policies to relocate communities away from high-risk areas. But for the thousands who lost everything, these promises came too late.
Today, the scars of Typhoon Durian still mark the landscape, and the memories still haunt the survivors. They remember the night when the sky roared and the mountains wept, when familiar rivers turned into walls of death, when the earth itself seemed to turn against them. Typhoon Durian is more than a story of wind and rain. It is a story of lives swept away, of human fragility in the face of a merciless world, and a reminder: when nature moves, it does not whisper, it shouts. And sometimes, it buries whole worlds beneath its roar.